listeners, and welcome to the Skift Meetings Podcast. I'm Andrea Doyle, Executive Editor at Skift Meetings. Today, we're going to talk about holiday parties. Yes, it may be sweltering right now where you are listening, but it's time to start thinking about and booking your holiday celebrations. I am joined by Carrie Davenport, Lead Event Manager for Altria and host of her very own podcast called Like a #Event Boss, and Jaki Baskow, the CEO of Las Vegas Speakers Bureau and Baskow Talent. Let's start by discussing what is trending this year and what successful holiday parties should include.
This is Carrie. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited about the holiday season. And if you're a meeting planner, you need to be thinking about it right now in the sweltering August heat. So great idea for a podcast, Andrea. There's so many things that are on trend right now that will be fabulous for holiday parties. First of all, I'm loving karaoke. I know it's like an old standby favorite, but it's all about the mood at holiday parties, right? So what's better to set the mood than just like having a joyous, good time? But some of the actual trending things that I'm seeing in events that I think will take place at holiday parties are things like DIY, like design bars. So making your own hats, making your own sweaters. You can incorporate an ugly sweater theme into this, or a holiday spirit themed DIY, build your own something where people can experience something and take away something with them. I think hot cocoa bars are going to be a really big trend, mocktails and cocktails both. We're seeing that already, but holiday themed. I think we'll see both of those. Anything that keeps the mood really light. So those are a few of what I'm seeing on the forecast. What about you, Jaki?
There's so many crazy things going on in Vegas here. Some of the new things we're doing is there's a company called Smash Bar, and what they have is they have a lot of robotic things. So they have, beside the 360-degree cameras that they have, that people can interact and do social media on, for their holiday parties. They also have a new thing where they're making custom holiday cookies through these robotic devices that they have there, and with people's faces and everything on them for to take away for the holidays.
I'm seeing that too. That's such a good reminder because I'm seeing, speaking of hot cocoa bars, a lot of coffee bars that have people's faces or logos being printed in them from the AI machine. So why not incorporate it into your hot cocoa bar and make it holiday themed?
I love the hot cocoa bars where it's almost like make your own tacos and hamburgers with hot chocolate and marshmallows and all the goodies on there. It's a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to make it, if you want to take it to the next level, you can add the Baileys and Kahlua if you go that direction, right?
Absolutely. People here are using a lot of robotic, robot bartenders at their holiday events here too. They love that. They're looking for different, unique ideas because, the holidays, it's, a lot of the same old things that people use. So we have like little elves in holiday costumes serving like drinks and different things that we do. A lot of people, like we just did Frankie Marino last year for a holiday party, and they're taking contemporary bands here and having them do rock and roll Christmas with rock and roll Santa. A lot of fun.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
And Carrie, you talked about do-it-yourself bars. Last week, I was at an event at the New York Marriott Marquis, and it was called Jingle and Mingle. And it was for event planners who are starting to think about their holiday parties. And what they had there was a flower bar. They had the most beautiful cut flowers, and the people in attendance could make their own bouquets. So I thought that was really great way to interact as you were selecting the flowers you wanted for your bouquet. And, it was great for networking and it was really interactive.
I love that. And then you have to think about seasonal flowers as well. So poinsettia, some greenery, and you can do kind of a build your own wreath bar, for example.
If you put pieces of pine in there, then it adds that whole scent factor. And successful events engage all the senses, don't they?
Yeah, I was just going to say that. That's exactly right.
In Vegas, there's a lot of outdoor Christmas venues here. The M Hotel had a gorgeous one last year. I mean, it was a drive-through, and you could rent these venues separately for your Christmas parties. And they're a 10. They're just amazing. And everything's very interactive. You can get out and take pictures with all the neon signs. It was very Vegas Christmassy, and it was different. There's a lot of different ones. There's also one at our Speedway racetrack here and one at Opportunity Village. So, if a corporation is looking to do like an event at a major venue there, it's great because it's already set up. And one of our other clients are renting those tent domes and having Christmas stars and things all over it. There's usually tent companies you can get them through, and these are usually indoor outdoor events during the holidays.
I love the tent igloos. And I think that's what you're talking about, Jackie,
Yes.
right? Tent igloos, they are exceptional. I've hired those for meetings before too, and they just provide little cozy spaces. So, such a great idea.
So that's like a pod, but for outdoors. And
Yeah.
Jackie, you mentioned Opportunity Village. What is that?
Opportunity Village is a facility that takes care of needy adults and children and teaches them how to go into the workforce and have a something to look forward to for the future. And they have a beautiful, beautiful outdoor event space there. And every year, starting Thanksgiving, you go out to their area there, and it's huge. It's a couple acres, and each company in town here sponsors a Christmas tree or a Christmas area, and they'll come and decorate it. They'll have their in-house people come and decorate it, and it's absolutely a 10. It's fabulous, and every year it gets better.
And you've had holiday parties there for your clients?
We have. I used to be on the board over there, so it's amazing. It's a 501c. Companies can also write that off doing their event there. They have an indoor facility, but the outdoor facility is just fabulous.
Which brings up an interesting point. Many successful holiday parties have some sort of give back or corporate social responsibility. Can you touch upon that?
Yeah, I will. I think CSR is a huge component and it makes everybody feel good around the holiday season. So, like Jackie was saying, getting a local organization involved and reaching out to see what their needs are, and then getting your group involved to put together whatever the needs may be. I think it's a win-win for everybody. It's a win for the community. Everybody feels good walking away from it. So that could kind of be incorporated into your DIY bar, something for yourself, something for someone else. So I think it's really special around the holidays.
LVHA does something called a grab a bag. So when you go to their luncheon, everybody gets a bag and they have to fill it, and there's information on there. And usually it's affiliated with a local school here. So we get to bring cheer to children that don't have any shoes or a coat, and you'd be so shocked. So we have a great time going out and shopping for it. So you'll get like a little tag. It'll have like you have a boy 9 years old with all his sizes on it, and maybe he likes Spider-Man or Superman or whatever. And you go out and you find things to do on there and add to that bag. And I always try to add toys with that also. So, and they spread it around. Like sometimes we buy too much and put it in there because we get excited about shopping. So they'll take it. They want to make sure each child gets the same amount of things. But it's just a really feel good. It's so good buying for somebody else and having that gratitude.
Yeah. I wanted to mention to meeting planners, sometimes we get kind of caught up not knowing where to start when we either are in our community or we're in a new community. So I think reaching out to your CVB and DMC partners is such a resource to connect with the local community and find these sort of opportunities, right?
Absolutely.
And Jackie, you said you get the bags from the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority?
No, Las Vegas Hospitality Association, which are all the DMCs and all the vendors that work at the hotels.
Okay.
It's a big thing. They've been doing it for a long time, and it's gotten even bigger. And we get to actually go there and see the kids open the bags.
Wow.
We've done that a lot of times. We'll do Boys and Girls Club where I'll have a corporation that comes in and they're looking for a team building event. They'll come in and they'll build a bike or they'll build something, and then we have the kids come in and we give them out to them right before Christmas.
Oh, I love that one. I love partnering with, have you heard of Clean the World? Have you utilized them?
I love that. Yes.
Love them. Yeah. So they take, Andrea, I don't know if you've worked with them before, but they upcycle the mini hospitality bottles of shampoo and conditioner and the soaps, and they put them through like a rigorous cleaning process, and they repackage everything, and then you build those for local homeless shelters in your community. They donate that back to you. So that's really, I love that one.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So it adds interactivity when you're helping someone else.
Absolutely. You're writing individual notes to the people that are going to benefit from the bags. And you're also talking and networking with the people around you as well during the process. And you can make it fun. You can add some, fun lighting and fun music. It doesn't have to be, sterile. It can be really, really fun.
So it's inspiring and also interactive.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So I guess the first place to start is by picking your date. And
Yes.
are there things that you have to keep in mind, like actual holiday dates?
Yes, yes, yes. You have to be really careful with this. And I always caution people to stay away from basically the middle of December onward, because you have all of the holidays and you're covering all the religions at the end of the month. I think this year it's from December 26th through January 2nd. So you really need to stay away from the end of December, which is difficult because everybody is going to want to capitalize in those first 2 weeks of December. If you can get away with the last week of November, spoiler alert, it may be cheaper. And if you don't call it a holiday party, prices may be better for you. I'm not going to guarantee that, but I will just say, as a planner, I've noticed when prices get driven up. Sometimes, if you call it a wedding or a party, a corporate party, sometimes prices do get driven up a little bit. So stay away from that language. And look at those first 2 weeks in December.
So then what do you say? I just have an event?
Yep, you can call it whatever you want.
Wow, that's a great tip.
Yep, corporate event.
Every year we do an event for a car dealership, and I know they do it around between the 5th, 6th, and 7th of December early because if you start getting into that first and second week of December, there's a million holiday parties. So, and we usually take over space at Sunset Station. We rent out their actual showroom. There's a small showroom there. So they have a built-in stage, built-in sound. It saves them a lot of money. And then we have a dinner there, and then I'll usually have a performer there. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and actually, Andrea, I'm looking for an event right now in December, the first week of December of 2025, and I'm having a difficult time finding space.
Wow.
What city are you going to be holding it in?
I'm looking at New York and Miami.
Wow.
The great cities.
Yeah, Art Basel's taking place in Miami, and New York City is Christmas in New York, so you know how that goes.
I've done a lot of I've done a lot of things in Miami. I'll put my headset on and think where you could have one, which would be
Thank
great.
you. Thank you. I'll reach out to you after this.
So then the truth is you can never book too soon.
That's right. Yeah, you should be thinking about it now. You should be thinking of next year's now as well.
Okay.
Luckily, mine's a multi-day meeting, but most holiday parties are not multi-day, so you are going to find space. So you should be thinking about the date, you should be thinking about the venue, and you should be thinking about the theme. Those are like the three things, right, that you need to think of right away.
And the dates you stay away from are December 25th is Christmas. Hanukkah this year is the 25th and it ends with nightfall on January 2nd. And Kwanzaa begins on December 26th and runs through January 1st. So those are dates that should be avoided when planning a holiday celebration.
Yeah, and the event should be inclusive, right? So it needs to be a holiday party. It needs to be we need to think about everybody and all religions and all holidays at the end of the year. So really, if you stay in those first 2 weeks, you avoid people's early vacations as well. So that's your safe zone.
And then after you select the date, it's time to choose a venue.
That's right. Yeah, and you should be looking. I would say again right away. And there are a lot of fun venues out there, and there are a ton of fun venues in Vegas, Jackie.
There are. If you need anything, call me. In New York, I do a lot of business at the Town Management Group here with all the nightclubs here, and they also own some restaurants and venues in New York. So if I can help you with any introductions, let me know. You also have amazing museums over there. I mean, you've got the Montmartre and you've got some really cool places. I think it's all about the experience. We all want to go to a party, we all want to go to events, but having an interactive experience is everything.
Agreed. And I think a venue that has built-in amenities is even better
Yes.
from a meeting planner perspective, right? So if you're in a museum and you already have an interactive element, or if you're in a space that has incredible AV, so you don't have to bring in your own audio visual,
Yeah.
just try to be smart and save some money in that way too.
Well, a lot of the entertainment that, that you book, you you can reach out and ask them, do you come self-contained with your own PA system? And I've been asking that a lot lately because a lot of make it or break it deals are when they have to spend a lot of money for sound and lights and everything else there, especially if it's a smaller group. We did our Christmas party last year with Frankie Marino up at the Palms Hotel, the Old Moon nightclub there. And I had him bring in a PA system and I brought in my own sound man over there. Now, usually I use in house, for a lot of the hotels, but this was their outside venue there. So we picked up some union men in-house, but we brought in our own gear.
I am getting ready to do an event at Moon next month, so I'm going to be calling you, Jackie, because
Oh, cool. Absolutely. It's a great thing. You're probably working with Raul over there?
I have one of my planners working with them over there. So, but I
Whatever
will.
I can help you with, I'm here.
That's awesome.
Great venue, by the way. It overlooks the city.
So we have the date picked, we have the venue picked. Now it's time to think about food and beverage.
Yes, and the theme, food and beverage, and the theme, both. And I'd like to think of the theme first because that's going to set the stage for everything. It's going to set the stage for how you present your food and beverage and which way you're going to go. Obviously, this isn't the time to do Cinco de Mayo Taco Festival, right? Like you're gonna probably do something like you could do the sweater party, you could do fun hats, you could do an all white party. There's so many options when it comes to holidays. So you need to set the theme so that then you can set the entertainment and the engagement and the experiential piece of it, along with the food and beverage. Jackie, are you in agreement there?
Absolutely. And now there's a lot of people that are vegan or vegetarian, and you have to give a lot of different options for people because you want to make sure that you have the whole gamut there, cover everything.
Yeah, and you really want to think about too the length of the party, right? So if
Yeah.
it's a 2 hour mixer, you can get away with kind of light appetizers and like a lighter bar set. But if you're going to keep people contained and engaged for 3, 4 plus hours, you're going to have to serve a meal. You need to make sure that there are alcoholic and non-alcoholic options.
Yeah.
If you do an early dinner, you need to make sure that there are late night bites. Like keeping people fed is my number one secret, I swear, for my success in the meetings industry. If people are fed and they're fed correctly, right? So it's not all sugar up front and then crashing at the end. But if people are fed and then people are happy, and I believe that.
And
Absolutely.
are you offering things in smaller containers so people could have a few different bites versus a big plate of something?
Yeah, if it's a roaming situation, like in a museum, or if there's an interactive element, or they're moving around, or you want them to mingle, then for me, I'm not doing a sit down dinner because then that person you're captive the entire time next to one or two people or a few people across from you. I love the idea of roaming and being able to engage with people, and you really want especially this is like a company holiday party you're doing for your staff. You want to make it light. You want to keep it fun. You want people to be able to engage with people that they don't engage with on a daily basis. And sometimes when you do a dinner, you get stuck with your management and your team and your boss, and that could be great. But holiday parties should give you the opportunity to mingle and to see people that you haven't seen throughout the year.
I think you could save a lot of money too by making like a holiday drink that they can have. I know that they did that last year up at the Palms. And also they love those. I know it sounds crazy, but they love those candy bars where you have the candy stations and they have little boxes. They can take things with them. They want something to take away. I don't know what it is, but they have to take something home with them.
Yeah,
It's
and it
fun.
doesn't need to be expensive, right? The
Yes,
candy bar or
absolutely.
the Milk Room's trail mix bar or anything interactive like that. People love it, and it's really inexpensive.
They love the chocolate stations, like when you go to a wedding, but they like it at parties also, where they have the big chocolate fountain with all the different, other things that they have that they can eat, whether the cakes and the marshmallows and the different things. It's fun.
I win every single time with a donut wall. A donut and a
Love that.
wall.
Love the donut wall.
time I've done a donut wall, every time I've done a champagne wall, I don't have to do crazy desserts or anything expensive at all. Those are the biggest wins and the biggest. I get the best feedback from those. It's so funny, and they're so inexpensive to do.
Can you just explain what a donut wall is?
Yeah, it's a large wall. It could be a small wall on a table, but it's a wall that has pegs sticking out of it, and you literally put the donuts through the hole on the peg, and people walk up and choose what donut they want. It is super easy. It is DIY if you need it to be. You don't need a caterer. Actually, at my wedding, I went to Krispy Kreme, and we had it. My dad built a donut wall.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
And the champagne wall, what would that consist of? Like at that party I mentioned, the Jingle and Mingle, they had a cirque performer pouring champagne. But what is a champagne wall?
Yeah, yeah, you can do it in that way too. Actually, at my event last December, my last holiday event, I had a woman in a champagne dress, in a champagne gown. So she was I'm trying to figure out how to explain this, but it's a large skirt structure around her that held glasses of champagne. And people would walk up and she would pick one off of her skirt and she would hand it to them. Or you could do it, really, really simply where there are just built-in hook or pegs again, and they're holding the champagne glasses, and people can walk up and self-serve. Or I've seen some DMCs and really like higher level events. There is a wall. There is whatever decor that you have, and then there are actual people with hands
Yes.
handing you drinks through.
So all you see is a hand
All
pouring.
you see is the hand, and sometimes the hand is gloved and it's themed, and sometimes
Yeah, we have one of them.
you
We
you
have. I love them. I love the wall with the hands come out. It blows people's mind.
yeah,
Fun. It's a lot of fun.
that unexpected element is what people want to see, and it has that kind of like VIP mystery feel to it.
A lot of times they use human heads for the tables also, where they have a human head popping out of the table, like they go to the buffet or wherever, and all of a sudden somebody talks to you. They have an actual head that comes out. You take the round circular tables and you put it through there and you work that. But it's a lot of fun.
That feels a little more Halloween to me.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So we talked about holiday themed FMB, like with cocktails and mocktails. You could have eggnog, mulled wine, cranberry mojitos, anything else.
Oh, I think you've named the big ones. Christmas margaritas or holiday margaritas. You can theme anything, truly, with a little pizzazz and a little sparkle and the right container, right? I believe you can theme anything and some cranberry. So, you have to get creative. I always say, I never order off the menus as an event planner, or I rarely order off of the menus. I usually ask to go to the chef directly, and the chefs at venues love that because they like to be creative and they're stuck in this kind of box of ordering A, B, and C. Event planners ordering A, B, and C all of the time, and they like to be able to show their creative side. So I usually go to the chef and say, "What have you seen in the past? What has worked really well?" Last year, I had at my holiday event, I had an ice luge, and we did, and it had gold inside. I had an Olympic themed event at that time because I had Olympians at the event, and Michael Phelps and a ton of other Olympians there. But it was an ice luge, and we did drinks coming out like espresso martini drinks coming from the ice, being poured from behind from the ice luge. So you can make anything holiday themed with enough imagination.
Absolutely.
So now let's talk entertainment. Some of the most popular corporate choices include karaoke, like you said, bands, comedians, and of course, you should have Santa.
Rock and roll Santa.
Can you talk a bit about entertainment that you see is trending right now, Jackie?
I think a lot of the things I see trending are LED characters, whether they be stilt walkers or costume characters in LED outfits. I now like one of our clients is we work with the Golden Night Drummers, that we use to open a meeting or come into a party, and they have LED outfits, and we will customize the colors according to the corporation, and they love it, and we'll incorporate one of the CEO or somebody we want to bring into the party into one of the drummers' outfits. Then we do the reveal. Another big thing we use for corporate events and holiday events is Bella Strings, the female violinist. I don't know if you've ever used them, Carrie. They're wonderful. And they can do holiday music or they go into classical, then they go into a whole rock opera, but they have many
Yep, yep.
costumes. I mean, we have period piece costumes, Christmas costumes, elegant costumes. I use them for many things. I have a rock and roll Santa that actually went to Macy's School for Santa to learn the appropriate etiquette to be a rock and roll Santa. So there's many different things to do, and it's fun. I always try to find different things that are a little out of the norm.
I love those. I also love bringing technology in. So utilizing holograms is
Yeah.
really, really fun right now and still kind of unexpected and not so mainstream. So if you are going to do Santa, which by the way, you don't have to because it's holiday and it's not quite inclusive of all holidays, but if you do, because a lot of people do, then a hologram Santa could be really cool.
Wow.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, and I will always love photo booths because there is that takeaway, right? So fun, sparkly holiday props, easy to do, inexpensive. People can take away photos of themselves. People love photos of themselves.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? It brings people together when they're there. I know the one 360 ring I'm using for Caterpillar next month. And what they loved about it was 8 people at a time can get on it, and it's a great social media platform for them also.
Yeah, actually, in my other podcast, I just talked about this. At your events, you should have a social media component because it's such a big deal right now, and it will continue to be a big deal as the next generation comes up. So if you have a wall, a beautiful backdrop where people can record their own content or take their own photos or share out about your event, they're going to. So I love the 360 too. I think those 360 cameras are great.
Me too. There's a lot of new ones out there too. That same company has the cookie machine.
Uh,
They can do holiday cookies or corporate cookies for an event and customize everything on there. So it's cool.
yeah, Jackie, I will be calling you after this.
And Carrie, tell us about the social media aspect. Should you have a hashtag just for the holiday party? Should you have the logo of the company somewhere?
Yeah, you can. I mean, it's up to you and your company and how big your company is and how big you want the reach to be. I know a lot of people are, their holiday parties are internal, but if you're throwing a holiday party for someone else or your third party and people want to get the word out about it, then absolutely you need a hashtag. Everything is hashtag these days. My podcast is hashtag, like a hashtag event boss. Like everything is hashtag on from LinkedIn to TikTok. So even if you're not on one, the hashtags work across all platforms, and people they love to record content and share content out. So why wouldn't you give them that opportunity?
Okay. And can you have the photo booth customized with the hashtag so when the picture comes out, it has the hashtag printed?
100%.
Okay. And that helps with exposure.
Yeah.
Okay. And have you ever incorporated a secret Santa or a white elephant gift exchange into a holiday party?
I personally have not. My meetings are a little bit too big for that. It's a little messy, but I would say that there are some ground rules when you do something like that. You need to set expectations on what the price is going to be, right? You don't want one person bringing in $100 item, another person bringing a $500 gift card, and then everybody else thinking that it's toys from the dollar store or something like that, which are totally fine and part of the experience. But do set a cap level and do let people know to be inclusive. And I go back to this all the time, but let people know that things are optional. You don't want people to feel stifled, like they have to do something. Because when we feel like we have to do something, it kind of takes the wind out of your sails.
Yep.
You want your holiday party to be, again, keep going back, you want it to be light, you want it to be fun, you want it to be interactive, you want people to want to go. And I've worked for organizations in the past where I'm like skipping the holiday party. Like there's no real desire to go, but you want people to do that. Especially if it's for your own company, you want people to have that sense of belonging and family and togetherness. You want people to show up to your holiday party because it's like the core of your business and the core of the people doing business with you. So making things light and fun and not mandatory, number one.
I like what you say light because I once was invited to a holiday party and it was black tie. So
Oh,
you're so busy with the holidays. That was the last thing I wanted to think about.
yeah, there's a time and place for everything, but the holidays, you got to give people a break and let them be their authentic self.
Right.
Andrea, you had mentioned the ugly sweater party, which I love.
Right. Right. So then you know what? Everyone just comes dressed in their ugly sweaters and it's fun. It's a conversation starter and it's also a theme.
You also can make that as a contest. The best ugly sweater. I've seen that. They do that up where I live here every Christmas.
Well, I think this has been great. We've really covered all the aspects of a holiday party. Anything we missed out?
Oh, I'm trying to think. I think the last thing is just be careful with alcohol, right? So make sure that you have Ubers in place or transportation in place for people. Let people know how to get there easily. Let them know what the parking situation is looking like or going to be. Just take care of your people. Like think about the pre and the post, how they're going to feel the next day. Have a plan of action if someone's overserved because the worst thing is someone being overserved and having to show up to work the next day, or be around their peers when they've embarrassed themselves. So these are all things as meeting planners we have to think of. So how are you going to get uncomfortable situations handled? Are you thinking through all the scenarios? I don't want to end on a downer note, but these are things that as meeting planners we have to think of outside of the date and the theme and all of the fun stuff.
And Uber's made it easy too now that you could just give your attendees a code.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
It's a great idea.
And Jackie,
I
what did you want to
Well,
say?
I think when you're hiring entertainment for a holiday party, I try to be sort of generic, and I try to get like I have a DJ Snow. He'll come dressed as Santa or whatever. He's doing a disco thing for me with a big wig this week. But what we do is we try to get music for everybody because, like you were saying, Carrie, people are from all over the world, and you might get people that are from 10 different countries. So you never want to pinpoint one thing or nothing religious. What I try to do is I'll do maybe some, Adele music or Bruno Mars, and then I'll go into, Smokey Robinson or Motown music. I try to do a little bit for everybody. So you hit everybody from all generations and all walks of the world. So because music is universal.
Absolutely. Love that tie-in.
And exactly what you're saying, Jackie. I think it's best to say holiday party and maybe do
Absolutely.
like a winter wonderland theme with little white twinkling lights just to keep it more generic.
Love that. Yes. And you're keeping it generic. This way, you're not going after a certain religion or a certain part of the world. And I love what you were saying, Andrea. The Winter Wonderland's awesome. Like I was saying, you can do a rock and roll holiday party. You can do whatever you want to do and make it fun. It's the holidays, and people love it. They just want to mingle and be part of something.
And touching upon what you said, Jackie, there's so many generations in the workforce right now. So you should appeal to all.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been amazing. I thank you both so much and I wish you happy holidays.
Thank you. Thank you. And Carrie, I look forward to catching up with you. If I can help you with anything here, let me know.
Yes, ma'am. You're on my call list.
Hey there, if you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts, please make sure to subscribe, rate us 5 stars, or leave us a positive review. That really helps us get out the word about the Skift Meetings podcast and make sure that we can continue to bring you this podcast every week absolutely free of charge. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the Skift channel and hit the notification bell to find out whenever a new video drops.